Yeah, but people from Vietnam should watch this. But I doubt anybody from Vietnam is gonna watch this.
Pretty sure it's streaming right now.
I'm checking.
Yeah, we need to check if it's streaming.
All right, we're streaming.
We are. All right.
The cloister.
Let's give it a second. Let's give it a second to wait. I need to let some people in. Well, it's Hurricane Prapiroon. Typhoon Prapiroon. It's getting pretty. It's nearing landfall in the Gulf of Tonkin. I'm gonna pull up an IR satellite loop.
Hey, I can't see.
Oh shoot! I forgot to clear my screen. Just give me a second.
I really like that in your best book. There's a live cut.
Alright, am I sharing now? Can you see it? Alright, here's the IR satellite loop. So of course we're seeing. Wait, can you see my mouse actually?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I didn't mean to turn it off. I didn't want to turn it off.
I mean, you can point out. You can point out stuff though.
We definitely see the rotation nearing this island right here. And then it's likely gonna move towards her, and it's not gonna be more towards the border. It's just gonna make a landfall here, and you know what's the actual curve back southwest, and it's continued. Now it's getting back into the Gulf of Tonkin. We'll see what plays out there, and see if that magical HWRF run actually happens. But we are seeing wind shears start to hit the system, which is better for China, worse for Vietnam. As you can see, the rain bands a lot of the banding and rains are hitting some Thailand and Laos right now. I have talked about the tornado threat in the last one, but these are also big tornado threats right here. Let me pause it here on this frame. We definitely see these things like hook echoes can pop up on this side. It's just when there's shear, it causes, and then there's also still rotation in the atmosphere because of Prapiroon. So that's what we're watching. It hasn't exactly weakened before landfall. That's a big problem. It hasn't lost any wind shear. Actually, I can pull up the wind speeds that were found. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Yeah, most of the max knots they found, like ADT, their Vmax was 77 knots, AIDT 68 knots, DPrint 60 knots, DMint 57 knots, MW Sounder 65 knots, SATCON 76 knots. So it's likely a Category 1 right now. It hasn't weakened. Me and V2, we thought it was gonna weaken. It didn't. This is a big problem for Vietnam right now. You can just see how big this system is on here. I'm gonna pull up the weather radar here. It definitely doesn't have that. It doesn't really have the best of circulations here, but you can definitely see this little low pressure system right here. This is the center right here. It's definitely nearing. It's nearing the islands. It's nearing the border, and it's likely gonna make landfall in this part of Vietnam. I don't think it'll be in China anymore, but it'll definitely be near the border. BT, you there?
I'm there.
Come over here. Let's take a look at that Hmon run. That was the HWRF run. That was a little magical. Had it strengthened in 977 millibars. As you can see, had it coming back and regenerating as a tropical storm and making a second landfall in China. A little bit of an insane run. I doubt it will happen. You can see this. It just has it even still becoming a tropical storm with all that wind shear because of Gamey. And let's take a look at Gamey actually real quick. This is tropical storm Gamey. It's not a typhoon yet. Thought this would become a typhoon before Prapiroon, but it didn't. It's been getting sheared pretty heavily. You can see those shear indicators right there. The JTWC is now forecasting a landfall on Taiwan. We will be doing full live coverage on this when it gets closer to those islands. But right now we're just focusing on Prapiroon because it's about to make landfall.
Near Hanoi? Hanoi's already getting impacted.
Yeah, and you can also see the remnants of 93W. It's not designated anymore. It just got consumed by Gamey. Let's also take a look at 94W. It was doing okay yesterday, but it kind of fell off. It's not doing so good anymore. It's just getting sheared by Gamey. It was holding up pretty good yesterday, but all of its convection kind of deteriorated overnight. Alright, let's look back at Prapiroon, and we're going to talk about some of the impacts that it could have on Hanoi. So here's Gamey. Well, no, Prapiroon. It's definitely causing a lot of like little cells to pop up. So this is all monsoonal. This isn't a part, but this is part of Prapiroon. And then there's of course that spin in the atmosphere that could be causing a lot of tornadoes, and that's what's causing the threat. The center is definitely the center might be making landfall right now, actually.
But you see, the hard thing to do, dude, is see if it's a tropical, either if it's a monsoon or a typhoon. It's pretty hard to know that, especially in this season.
We already had that depression in the Indian Ocean, and we also had O3W, which was just a monsoonal mess. It had a lot of vortices in it, so it had a lot of vortices in it. There were a bunch of low pressure systems in it, all trying to be the leader of the system, basically. And that shouldn't have been a tropical depression. At first, Prapiroon and Gamey shouldn't have been a tropical depression at first, but now they're definitely storms. JTWC hasn't been marking great things. First 94W is forecasted to maybe form behind Gamey, according to the GFS, but the wind shear from Gamey is a problem because of how big its wind field is. What are your thoughts on like the impacts, B2?
What?
What are your thoughts on like the impacts?
Maybe a little bit of obviously tornado threats, as that happened with Barry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say in Hanoi, I don't think it's gonna have that much impact on Hanoi, but a lot of impact on Haiphong.
Yeah, because that's probably more likely. I mean, if you're in Hanoi, you probably still want to keep a very close eye on this because it could just have a very big convection burst to the northwest. It really could. We're seeing a bunch of bursts on the southeastern side.
But like some houses in Vietnam don't have a door, so they need to watch out for that.
They need. Oh yeah, if you're in any parts of Vietnam or some parts of
No,
Laos
no.
and some
If I
parts of
go,
Thailand, you need to get into a shelter right now because this thing is likely going to bring. Well, the storm is likely going to bring torrential rainfall and a lot of heavy winds.
Da Nang will probably not get impacted.
We can't say 100% not because this has been bursting like crazy, so it could just have like a very big burst and cause a lot of damage.
But Da Nang is like super south, so I'm not sure.
That's true. It might be affected by the monsoons associated with the southern side, but well, they aren't really associated with the southern side, but yeah, that
Dude,
one's
all
still in the trough.
Da Nang is cheap, bro. $1, $30
For what?
for a hotel, for a 5-star hotel.
It's $30. Okay, whatever. Let's get back on track. It's likely making landfall right now. Like this is the core of this is probably over this island right now.
It's probably gonna hit Laos, but as it hit Laos, it's probably gonna be a tropical depression.
It is going to weaken quickly because there is a lot of. I bet it will weaken quickly because there's a lot of elevation in northern Laos, especially in this part of China right here, especially getting into like Tibet, the Tibetan area. But this does have higher elevation, so that should kill off most of the cloud tops. We're already seeing it with the northwestern side. So, but this has been a very surprising system. It looked like it was weakening yesterday. I'm pretty sure it did weaken a little bit overnight, but now it's re-strengthened. It almost looks like an eye there, but that's not the center, I believe. Let's look at the windy weather radar again. And we'll see where the center's at. Yeah, the center is right here, at least according to windy. It might be a little more south. Ooh, that's my fault. Sorry. I'm gonna be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for... That's my fault. I didn't have my PC charger up here with me. What was that?
What? You heard that?
Yes.
I'm confused.
What are you confused confused by.
Almost said, can you sit up in the chair with me?
Huh?
Is there like a ghost in your house?
No, I'm here.
No, I heard someone say, can you sit up here with me? Or was that your mom?
That may have been my mom.
What?
It may have been my mom. Can you hear like my computer blasting air?
No.
Okay, cool. Cause I hear it.
No, that's just the microwave.
Alright, let's look at the 850 milliwatt volticity. This is the remnants of 93W right here. You can see it
That's
getting consumed by gaming.
tropical storm Amy, which will probably be tracking later today at 8, I should say, 8:15 p.m.
EST. Or Atlantic Standard Time.
EDT. EDT, EST, very different things.
Then this is 94W right here, but this is the vorticity for gaming, but gaming actually is giving lots of impact to the Philippines right now, actually. Just because of how big it is.
I
You
might
can see
think
a
that
couple
Gayemi.
other like cold front like features here.
I think Gayemi is actually a stronger storm than Prapiroon.
It'll likely peak as one. Gaming is not a typhoon right now.
It's a tropical storm.
It's a tropical storm, but Prapiroon, under our analysis, is a typhoon. At least it should be. The JMA also still has it as a typhoon. JTWC is going for 60 knots, so around 70 miles an hour. 65, 70 miles an hour. So.
Yeah, I see that.
But we need to. You can see that monsoonal thing. These monsoonal things right here. You can see this. Let me get out of here. I'm gonna go back to the IR satellite loop. But there's definitely. Let me refresh my page because I'm pretty sure there should be more frames at least. Yeah, here we go. Yep. I am pretty sure that Prapiroon has just made landfall. Let me see if the windy weather radar picks up on this. So this is the center. No, I don't think it has quite yet. Yeah, it hasn't made landfall quite yet. I say it's around maybe 20 minutes away though. 20 to 30 minutes away from a landfall is what I'm estimating. Let's look at some of this wind shear stuff. You can see what's affecting it right now. See, it's definitely in the red. It has a lot of south. You see all that southeasterly shear, or that northeasterly shear. That's gonna push all of its convection, likely more into Thailand and Laos, and still parts of Vietnam. And then, of course, we're still going to be watching for that curve back into the Gulf of Tonkin. Because that might be a little interesting to watch and see. But if anything, it'll likely die out right before that actually happens. GFS run. Yeah, the GFS had it curving back, but then just has it just dying out over land, which is probably likely at this point. Let's see what the ECMWF has to say. The ECMWF has it doing a complete curve. It gets back into the Gulf of Tonkin, but not enough, I don't think. It doesn't make it far enough, and it just goes back inland and merges with Gamey. We'll talk more about the threats of Gamey later. Well, let's look at some of the JTWC cones. So yeah, JTWC 60 knots. They got the center wrong, but it's okay. They have it making landfall with 60 knot winds, obviously, and then it has it way more sharp with that curve now, which is a little odd. Because it has been trending that it'll get south towards Hanoi and then curve back. Well, what are your thoughts, Vicha? Vicha?
Huh? What?
What are your thoughts on the JCWC having like a more sharper curve back, even though it's more trending that it gets towards Hanoi?
It's kind of like I don't know. It's like it looks like kind of it looks like a wrong prediction. Well, it does to me. I'm not saying it's wrong, but like it's probably gonna keep going straight. I say.
It's I don't think it'll make that sharp of a turn. That's the thing.
Maybe a slight turn, but not that sharp.
I don't think it's just gonna go straight back into the Gulf of Tonkin. Like because it was showing you yesterday that it was gonna go back towards Hanoi, right, and die out. I thought that's what it was expecting. But I'm assuming it is gonna weaken pretty fast. Like it goes from 40 knots to 30 knots to 20 knots. So let's look at this some of the elevation. Yeah. This is a map of Vietnam's elevation. You can definitely see all of the higher elevation in these parts near Hanoi. And then of course it has a little bit down here near Ho Chi Minh, but even closer to landfall, the center. Wait, let me scroll here. The center is very near Koto right now. It's right here. The center is likely right here. It's gonna travel right through this island and cross over here. That's if you are near the storm path, you need to take cover, please. And please stay safe. Let's look at some of this rain accumulation over the next couple days. Yeah. Next 24 hours, of course, it doesn't. Definitely see over the next 3 days. You definitely see a lot of some parts maybe getting up to a foot, but that, yeah, right here it gets maybe up to like a foot in some parts, and average maybe around like 9 inches of rain. Let's look at the GFS. GFS is predicting the rain totals to be a lot more south here. but they haven't they're predicting a lot more rain. See, of course, you see this little path right here where it all gets up to a foot, and then of course down here it gets to around 5 inches. But this entire path right here gets devastated by. It gets devastated on the GFS run. On the icon, it's not as bad, and this spot right here near Tatai, it gets up to a foot. This part maybe it gets up. But and also something that I forgot to talk about in the last one, another big threat is it's gonna be the landslides that can come down from the mountains. If we're gonna have a lot of rain like this, like what they're expecting, up to a foot of rain, if you live in northern Vietnam, you could see a lot of landslides.
This tastes good.
Viju, what do you think the landslides will do to Vietnam?
Maybe a little. I don't know. Because landslides can cause tsunamis.
No, well, not sometimes, but it's all gonna be inland.
I know, but it could lead to the ocean. But I'm not convinced it won't. But like landslides is gonna make it hard to walk on grass, probably.
And it could definitely topple a lot of homes, right? Maybe. But China did kind of get spared in this incident, but Gamey might be coming after them next. See, Gamey's cloud tops get up really high. It's been having extremely high cloud tops, but the shear is definitely killing it a little bit. It stopped it. It's expected to be a typhoon by now, but it's not. It's kind of disappointed by the Euro. They only have it 30 knots. Talk about the wave. Oh, we see around 10 feet in this side. Let's just play it and see. Definitely the waves increase to 11 feet. Makes landfall. That could be a problem. Can you see my screen, Vita? You can definitely see the wind shear here. The center's right here. All the convection is down here. You can definitely see wind shear hitting it, but this is gonna make, and you can also see some of this rain bands here.
I was better when I danced.
If
That's
you're
a
on
fucking
the if you're
matter.
on the coast of Vietnam right now, you need to keep an eye on these bands. These are causing heavy rain and possibly flooding throughout these parts of Vietnam, especially when they get more on shore. They'll cause a lot of flooding.
Yeah, you better watch out for these eight.
Or it's what?
No, hold on.
Some of these rain bands can get up to 14 millimeters an hour of rainfall.
Yeah, watch out for these a thousand coming down near near the border of China and Vietnam. And you know why I said 1,000? Because you literally just said band. So you know.
The rain band, bro. The rain bands.
The rain thousands. What do you convince me that's not cool? Come on.
No, it's not.
Man, that's cool, bro. Bye.
Let's look at Game Me's cone before we're gonna close up stream for the day. Well not for the day. We'll likely get back on Game Me, but we definitely
15?
see it definitely has it crossing right over Type
Well,
A.
maybe at 9, actually. At 9.
Huh?
At 9.
Yeah, Game Me at 9. You can definitely see how big of a system this is. I'm definitely scared what this can do. It's definitely a bigger system, so that's something that can happen. It'll be harder for it to consolidate and become a very, very strong storm. But back when it formed, Super Typhoon was on the table. I mean, Category 4 can still not really be ruled out, or a Category 3 equivalent storm. But the JTWC isn't forecasting Category 3 anymore, they're forecasting a Category 2. But this could bring very heavy impacts
B.
to Taiwan and China. And if you're in the Philippines, please be wary of the system. You can obviously, I didn't show you this before, you can see the rain bands 100% hitting northern Luzon right now. This is a lopsided system. It's very big. I didn't expect a lot of strengthening from it, although the GFS was a little biased. Just because, like, the bands are what's getting really hurt right now. Because of the shear. This is also a storm known as Karina. If you're in the Philippines, it's a Karina, I think, if I pronounce it. Sorry for pronouncing it wrong, but that's what the Philippine name is. The Prapiroon was once Buchoy, I think. That was also its Philippine name that it got from the JMA, I'm pretty sure, or Pagasa. Pagasa is what they got it from. Let's look at the Atlantic a little bit. Let's look at all the basins before we hop off. You can definitely see that little Central American gyro thing not expected to develop. The Atlantic is a pretty dead basin right now, actually. We're not expecting any
What?
we're not expecting any real development until like early August. The models haven't been picking up on anything. I mean, there's a couple signals in the main development region for a couple tropical waves, but that's really it. Look at the Eastern Pacific. There's two things that I want to talk about. There's this disturbance right here, this disturbance 1, and this disturbance 2. They're both causing. Well, they're both going out to land. I mean, Disturbance 2 might be bringing Mexico a couple of thunderstorms right now.
Okay, noise.
But that's really all they're doing. I'll pull up the NHC map. The Atlantic non. Eastern Pacific, you can see those two disturbances. This one is 10:30. This one's a 10:10. Central Pacific, they had this little AOI that was a 10:20 yesterday, but it's a Central Pacific. It's not gonna form. I really doubt that this forms. You can see this system on the. I'll pull up this system on Central Pacific. Yeah, it's pretty disorganized, and you can see those wind shear indicators that are about to kill it. So and there's no
Yeah.
low at all. I think. So there we go. That is all we're gonna cover today.
I guess that's the end of the stream.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna cover today. So thank you for watching. If you're in, we might do more coverage on Prapiroon eventually, as it will cover some of the severe thunderstorm threats as it moves into Taiwan. But we will do another stream if we have. We will do another stream on gaming. That's for sure. But if you're in Vietnam, my heart goes out to you, and please stay safe. Thank you for watching.
My country, Vietnam, just stay safe. Take cover, especially in Haiphong, Hanoi,
Yeah,
China.
If you're in Laos, please stay safe from these rain bands because those can cause a lot of damage. China, you are getting a little bit of rain bands, but that's really the most you'll get, I think, because of how lopsided it is.
But Vietnam is going X Games mode, so watch out.
Alright, thank you for watching.